welcome to the first episode of Hey, you want to start something in the startup realm? Round of applause! Yay!
Yay!
And with us today, we have Yuan from Ren.
Hello.
Can you please briefly introduce yourself?
Okay, yeah, I'm Yuan. I'm a current Year 2 CS student. I'm also the co-founder of Ren. So we are a feedback and analytics layer for schools, tuition centers, both in public and private education. And what we aim to do is make education personalized. So we do that through grading and feedback analytics. Yeah.
Very interesting, very interesting.
Yes, hopefully.
Okay, so Yuan, for today's episode, right, we'll be going more into your origins, your backstory, like your very first steps before you came into this startup field. So before your entire journey began, do you ever have that feeling or that thought that was like, wait, I can be a founder, man?
Yes, I think, yeah, I guess it really started quite early as well. When I was in primary school, I used to be quite obsessed with making money. So I used to bring all my comics to Catholic high primary school. And I used to rent it out to my classmates because their parents wouldn't let them read comics.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I used to make a quick buck from that. And then, after that, went into the education system, did my exams and stuff. But after JC, I went into tuition and started teaching JC general paper for about, I think 5 years now. Yeah, so I think through that, I started realizing, maybe I could start something. But originally, probably a tuition center. So yeah, so that's how it all started, I guess.
I see. So in your head, you were like, actually, you know what? There's a possibility that I could become a founder next time. Like, do you ever thought of like my own startup though?
I think back then I didn't really know what a startup was, but I definitely wanted to own a business of sorts, right? I always thought it would probably be tuition or in education somehow. Never did I think that I would go into software. Yeah, so it's quite a big pivot for me. Yeah.
So before you went in, right?
Yeah.
What gave you that confidence or belief that you could actually make this happen?
I wouldn't say confidence, I think it's delusion. Like I really felt like me and my co-founders were like the best team to solve the problem. And we managed to get a bit of traction, quite deluded. We went to schools to talk to them, teachers to talk to them, blindly like knocking on their doors, opening up the doors and stuff.
Wow.
And then slowly went into it. I think it's just blind delusion. It was quite unfounded back then, but now, thankfully we have traction, so yes.
Yay,
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah.
So actually what was your very first step? I know you kind of briefly mentioned it about how you guys went out and
Yeah.
like go to primary schools, knock on the doors, and then talk to teachers and all.
Mm.
But what was your like very first step? Like down to the idea thing.
Down to the idea thing. Okay, I think it was because it was something I faced when I was a student, but also when I was a tutor. So the main problem that we were trying to solve was personalization in education, right? So this means that when I was in JC or when I was in secondary school, I used to get back assignments where there would just be a lot of ticks, very few comments, right? And I was thinking to myself, like, I don't really know how to learn from this, right? I might know like what's wrong, but there's no actionable feedback. So then when I was a tutor, as I started teaching class sizes, right, they would increase, I had to cap my class sizes to like 6 or like 8 students a class.
Sorry, continue.
I knew it. I had to cap my class sizes just to make sure that I could still provide high quality education. And I was thinking to myself, like, is it really an issue of teachers or is it the issue of like infrastructure? So I approached Justin, and the initial idea was just to have it for my lessons, for my tuition, right? And then become a huge tuition center owner. But that didn't work out. So what I realized that it was quite useful, and then Justin just said like, how about we just delve into approaching schools, right? Like just try it out. Yeah, so it started off with this conceptualization actually in N-House. So it's so it's an N-House pitch night was the first pitch that we did. And then after that we started with that conceptualization, but market validation was something we didn't do too well initially.
I see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can you like, who's this Justin?
Yes. Okay, yes, I need to introduce my 2 co-founders or they will end my life. Okay, so I have 2 co-founders. The Ren actually started initially with Justin only because me and Justin have been classmates since JC. He was the chairman of my class. I was the vice chairperson.
Okay.
Very upset about that. But yeah, so we started that together. We've been friends since. We tried a lot of different businesses together actually. Drop shipping, all the very standard e-commerce stuff. So he's a very technical person, super technical, very smart. So that's Justin, my CTO. My other co-founder is Natasha Ko, or Ko Singling. She's currently leading more of the operations and the product end. So she does a lot more customer facing things. But we met her through N House. Okay, everything goes back to N
So
House.
it's all back to N house. So
Yeah.
what is this N house?
Okay, I'm probably not the best person to describe it, but N House is actually it's like a community of usually NOC alumni or friends of NOC. Friends of NOC, yes, friends of NOC. So it's basically a place where a lot of the NOC alumni will come back to stay for their year 3 or year 4, or prospective NOC goers would probably stay in N-house as well. So you meet a lot of people that have gone overseas, worked at startups. A lot of my friends went to Silicon Valley, New York, Vietnam, all kinds of different places. Yeah. So N-house is it's quite fun. Apply if you have the chance. Yeah.
Wait, so I guess like what I'm getting from this is that you found a community first to work with you. So like when you first started out, like apart from ideating, you also found like-minded people who will also be on this journey with you.
Yeah.
Was it very difficult to find these people? Was it because they're already in your life? Like I know Justin is from primary school, but how about Natasha?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the community is super important because I think when you're building a product or company, it can be very isolating, right? I mean, we spend long hours here, like to the points when hangar like 24/7. Sometimes we sleep in hangar, and yeah. So I think community is really important. NUS does have quite a lot of things they can approach. For example, NOC gives you experience working overseas with startups, N-house as well. So I think community is super important. It lets you know that you're not alone. But I think the most important thing I would say is there's so many opportunities to find like-minded people, right? But you have to go out and get it. It will not just fall on your lap. So
Real.
yeah, I gotta seek it out.
Preach. Okay, so some context. Hanger.
Oh.
Why don't you explain
Oh
what's
yes.
hanger?
Okay. Maybe. Okay, hopefully I'm explaining it correctly. Hangar is basically a sort of like working space and is an incubation program under Blocks Anyone. Blocks Anyone basically allows for a lot of student founders, right, with good ideas, solid ideas to apply, and they will get the co-working space which you see. This is MR1. Yes, the meeting room 1. And yeah, so you gain access to this, you gain access to mentors, to a lot of different resources as well. So it's a very good program to apply for if you are budding out with a sort of idea or concept. I think the good thing is also now they force people to try and have traction, so good or bad. But the bar is slightly higher
Pushes
now.
you.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, let's backtrack a bit.
Okay.
And then we go back to like when you first started. Was there ever a moment where you almost gave up?
Okay. Yes, I mean there were certain moments, right? So there was a period of time actually. I think most people when they have ideas or they have startups, they spend the first couple of months conceptualizing it, right? Thinking about the idea, thinking about how glorious it will be when you're a billionaire and you IPO. But I think then eventually reality hits as well. So my two co-founders are year 4s, so they're graduating this semester. Like a couple more weeks, they're graduating.
Oh my.
Yeah. So I think there was a period of time where we actually did not have a falling out, but have to have quite a serious conversation as well. Because my co-founders are talented, and the issue about talented people is that they have many pathways they can take that are a lot more lucrative or a lot better than a startup route. So we had to have that conversation to the point where there was maybe like a couple of weeks where we were really thinking like, okay, maybe it's time to just close shop, right? Some people might leave. Let's find replacements, this and that. But eventually we sat down and we told ourselves that we have one more semester, right? If we go all out for one semester, let's see what we can do. If we get the traction that we can get, then we'll continue. And yeah, so I think sitting down with your founders, having a very serious conversation, because some people treat it as like a project per se, but yeah, having that serious conversation really helped. So I think in the last like 5 months alone, we went from like a couple teachers working with us to now we're in over like 10 plus institutions. Yeah, in NUS and a lot of other schools as well. So yeah, that helped.
Damn.
Serious conversations help.
That's true.
Yeah,
Communication. Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so maybe more of like the startup ecosystem, like when you first came in with all your friends, everything, your community, and
Yeah.
So like, what was the biggest misconception that you had of like startups?
I think the biggest misconception I had, I think not just of startups, but of like founders also, is that I think number one, a lot of people feel like startups, like anyone can do a startup, right? I don't disagree, but I think that there's a lot of work that goes behind it that you don't realize or you fail to realize, right? So when we came in with our friends, we we're all very happy about it. We got a new workspace, we were feeling great about it. But I realized that at some point in time, I was spending most of my time just studying in the workspace, doing my academics and stuff, and there wasn't a very clear focus. So I think that the biggest takeaway was, number one, that anything is really possible. Like really, if you put your heart to it, it's possible. And I know it sounds super cringy, like Disney, like, but I think it's possible because I think we've gotten into rooms with people, right? Conversations with people, connected with really leaders in Singapore that, I would never have thought like a year 2 student in NUS would be able to have a coffee chat with, a lot of these like important stakeholders. So I think anything is possible, but you have to really put, I guess, your heart and your soul into it and really put in the effort. The second misconception was that, I guess, hard work isn't everything per se, right? So a lot of the great opportunities that we had was not just about putting in like 120% of effort, but it's consistent effort. Yeah, so discipline, which I ironically don't really have too much of. Yeah.
It's okay, same. I guess a lot of
yeah.
people might relate to that. So,
Yeah.
like in those moments where you feel like I need to be consistent, I need to commit, then what keeps you going even when, like, okay, cringy, but the going gets tough?
The going gets tough. What keeps us going? I think number one, I was really, really blessed with a super, super solid team, really capable team. Like my team is, like, they amaze me all the time. I think having founders that you respect, right, and everyone has the same mission, right? The things that they give up to be working on the product with me is insane, right? As a year 2 student, I'm still like hee hee ha ha, right? But they're like year 4s, and it's really their lives are ahead of them, and they're like putting that on a pause to work on the product. And I think believing in your product is the most important thing, because everyone out there is going to tell you that it might not work, it's not going to work, or no one likes this, no one likes that, no one will use your product, right? And then you just have that tenacity to just keep pushing. But for us, it's simple because we are very competitive people. So when people tell us it's not possible, or tell me it's not possible, I like to make sure that it is, just to prove it to them, So yeah, I think having a good, solid founding team and stuff like that. And the most important thing is you can't focus on too many things. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
true.
So that's why my GPA is. Yeah. So having maybe 1 or 2 major priorities and focusing on that works. Yeah.
But I guess it's like you do feel so strongly for this that it's like you can put aside, or like put on hold, not put aside, certain other things. Yeah, especially in Singapore,
Yes.
study, GPA.
Yeah.
But you do find that this has so much more value, is it?
Yeah, exactly. I think people like to place a large emphasis on academics, but I realized that it's not like the most important thing. Maybe don't let my parents hear that. But I realized that academics, while it is important, I think nowadays information is so accessible, right? I mean, I'm sure like people use Claude and like ChatGPT and all these like AI models to automate a lot of processes. So I think it's not just about the information that you have access to, but your ability to use that information. So the way we put it to my team as well was that, what's the point of learning all of this if you're not building something, right? So using that knowledge and skill set and applying it, I think, is quite important. Yeah, and I've never been too academic centric. So yes.
Oh, same. Where I get stuck.
Yes,
that's a skill that's like, it's so important,
Yeah.
Maybe we might not necessarily get it in the academic realm.
Yeah.
But anyways, thanks for being so candid.
Yes.
It's really good to be real. And I guess how like everyone's path is also very different, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I guess like to those that are tuning in, some of them may have ideas or may have that ambition to also begin a startup. So what is one advice or word of encouragement that you give them?
I have so many thoughts on this. I think the biggest piece of advice, which was given to me by Eugene Chia from EcoVolt.
EcoVolt.
Very best startup. Yeah, I think Eugene, the way he put it was just sell it, right? So I think the most important thing is that too many, especially when you're technical, too many people tend to build in vacuums. So they assume that theoretically my idea is the best, but you have to go out there, you have to talk to the people, you have to try to sell it to them, and it's only through these experiences, selling and talking to people. I think human connection is, because you're building products for people, right?
That's true.
So I think just break those assumptions, go out there and sell, and talk to as many people as possible. Because our product started off as this humongous like pile of like features, and now it's been like dwindled down to the maybe like 2 or 3 core features we focus on. And that was not going to be possible without the selling part. Yeah. So a lot of the change that occurred within like the span of about a couple months was because we were talking to people. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Fire.
Fire. Okay, so
Yeah.
one last question.
Yeah.
Actually, what would you say to yourself, like your younger self, at the very start, like during the very start of like everything, you know? What's something that you would tell him? I mean, tell yourself.
Tell myself. Okay. Tell myself. Wow, that's kind of philosophical. I think I would tell him to get his lazy ass off the chair. Oh, is that a curse word?
No, it's
no,
fine.
it's not. Okay,
It's fine.
I think the most important thing was that stop planning and stop conceptualizing and stop ideating, because nothing beats actually talking to people. So if he had gone out there and started earlier, I think it would have been better. Do I regret it? No, because I think that a lot of the mistakes that I made was really what made the team like as close as we are now, right? So I think these mistakes were important, but you know, for those that are starting a new startup, maybe start a little earlier, right? Yeah.
I see. So you had these like ideas before uni?
Yeah. A lot of these ideas actually came up before uni, but I never really gone out to like chase it, right? And I think a little bit of a taboo opinion, but I think a lot of people nowadays obsess too much with like pitching ideas, you know, going and doing all these kind of pitches, and that's all that happens, right? When in reality, right, while the judges at these pitches can probably give some advice, right, nothing beats talking to the industry, like people in the industry and the customers themselves. So if you have an idea and if you really believe in it, you know, and it's not just to boost your portfolio, then I would say go out there and talk to people and talk to the customers. And I can promise you that the consistency will beat out a lot of others, because there are so many people in the same fields that will probably only focus on the vanity metrics when you really should be focusing on your customers. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Thanks for your insight.
Yeah.
Why you give the reaction? Hey.
Too much. Yes,
Own
yes.
it.
Okay.
But anyways, thank you, Yuan, for your insight
Great.
and your story
Yeah,
of Ren and how it all started. And for those who want to know more about Ren or about Yuan, you guys can go and find his socials. Like, what are your socials?
Our company website is reneducation.com. You can drop me a DM on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, yeah. Connect.
Yes, give me more connections, please. Thank you very much. Yes.
Yay, thank you. And for those who are interested in pursuing this same path that Yuan has taken, you can also consider joining Start Runway,
Yes.
which is opening. Yes, it's under Blocks 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, y'all can check us out as well for Blocks 21 on more details about incubation program and also more about the startup ecosystem. Okay.
Okay.
Yay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cut!